The legend of Bigfoot, North America's most enduring cryptozoological mystery, has for centuries been built upon a foundation of fleeting glimpses, ambiguous vocalizations, and the infamous, yet unverifiable, Patterson-Gimlin film. For many, it remains a captivating campfire story. But for the dedicated investigators of the Expedition Bigfoot team, a unique fusion of military discipline, scientific rigor, and unwavering curiosity, the search has undergone a profound evolution. Their recent expedition into the heart of Northern California's storm-lashed Lost Coast was not merely a hunt for a myth. It was a high-stakes, forensic investigation that may have unearthed the most tangible evidence to date, pushing the boundary between legend and reality. The team itself is a critical component of the story. Led by Bryce Johnson, the driven organizer whose passion fuels the mission, the group leverages a diverse set of skills. Russell Acord, a former U.S. Army Ranger, provides tactical field expertise and a soldier's resolve, braving extreme conditions to pursue thermal contacts into the deepest thickets. Dr. Mireya Mayor, a renowned primatologist and Ph.D. with a history of groundbreaking discoveries for National Geographic, brings impeccable scientific credibility. Her involvement ensures that the investigation is governed by methodological rigor, from evidence collection to analysis. Together, they form a trifecta of determination, discipline, and science. Their chosen battlefield was as formidable as the quarry they sought. Northern California's Lost Coast, true to its name, is one of the most remote and treacherous wilderness areas in the United States. The team's arrival coincided with a brutal assault by atmospheric rivers, a meteorological phenomenon unleashing torrential rains, triggering catastrophic flooding and landslides. This wasn't an inconvenient backdrop, it was an active adversary. The raging elements transformed rivers into impassable torrents and trails into muddy quagmires, making every step a calculated risk. Yet, paradoxically, this very weather was cleansing the forest floor and preserving fresh evidence, setting the stage for a series of remarkable discoveries. The trail begins, tracks that defy explanation. The first significant break in the case emerged from the sodden earth. In an area churned up by the storms, Acord discovered a series of massive, unmistakable footprints pressed deep into the mud. These were not the familiar pigeon-toed tracks of a black bear, nor the delicate hooves of deer. These were large bipedal impressions, with a stride and depth suggesting a creature of immense weight and power. The plot thickened with the realization that there were two sets of tracks, side by side, almost identical in shape but slightly varied in size. This immediately sparked a compelling theory. Were they tracking a pair of creatures, perhaps moving together through the storm-battered forest? The team quickly set to work creating detailed casts, preserving every nuance. One cast revealed startling definition, including clear toe separations and a pronounced mid-tarsal break, a feature associated with non-human primates. Another cast was more anomalous, showing only 3 distinct toe impressions, a characteristic that defied easy comparison to any known North American mammal. Each plaster mold carried an eerie weight, a silent, physical testament to something unknown walking the woods. The investigation took a dramatic turn from the ground to the trees with the discovery of a massive, complex structure woven from large branches and logs. This was no random pile of debris fallen in a storm. Its construction appeared deliberate, strategic, and required significant strength. Flanked by 2 smaller ancillary formations, the large structure fit a pattern often reported by Bigfoot researchers: potential territorial markers, hunting blinds, or even rudimentary shelters. It was here that Dr. Mayor's scientific approach revolutionized the search. The team deployed a cutting-edge forensic tool, a hyperspectral camera. Unlike standard cameras that capture only visible light, this device scans across a vast range of the electromagnetic spectrum, revealing details utterly invisible to the human eye. In crime labs, it is used to detect hidden bloodstains, fingerprints, and traces of DNA on surfaces that appear clean. As the camera scanned the gnarly bark of the tree structure, the monitor lit up with vibrant, colorful hotspots. These indicated areas where biological material, perhaps skin cells sloughed off from a grasping hand, saliva, or even dried sweat, could be present. The team carefully swabbed these hotspots, collecting samples that held the potential to contain genetic material. This moment marked a pivotal shift in the expedition. The quest was no longer about blurry photos or eerie sounds. It had become a genuine genetic survey, a hunt for molecular proof of an unknown hominid. While the scientific analysis began at base camp, Russell Acord, driven by a thermal contact from a previous night, a tall, bipedal heat signature moving across a distant ridge, pushed deeper into the worsening weather. His solo trek through the torrential rain led him to a discovery that was both gruesome and revealing: a kill site. The clearing was a natural amphitheater of death. Bones of various sizes and ages were scattered methodically across the ground. Some were old and sun-bleached, while others were fresh, with tendons and ligaments still attached. The key was the nature of the kill. This was not the chaotic aftermath of a bear attack or the scattered remains left by wolves. The placement suggested something had been deliberately dragging its prey to this specific, secluded location to consume it at leisure, a sign of advanced, predatory intelligence. The trail of evidence led him to an abandoned homestead, its windows like hollow eyes staring out into the forest. Inside, on the rough-hewn wooden floor, were fresh, smeared bloodstains. The pattern indicated something large and wounded had moved through the structure, exiting back into the trees. Acord, with the precision of a forensic investigator, collected samples of the blood, knowing he might be holding the key to proving the existence of the unprovable. As the team converged, the pieces of the puzzle began to form a startling picture. The evidence was no longer isolated, it was cumulative. Fresh tracks found along a creek bank exhibited dermal ridges, fine patterns similar to human fingerprints. Deep claw marks gouged into a tree trunk stood at a height far beyond the reach of even a massive bear. A large pile of scat, filled with fragments of bone and fur, indicated a digestive system capable of processing a large, carnivorous diet. In a final attempt to initiate contact, Mayor and Johnson employed techniques from primatology. They deployed synthetic primate pheromones designed to signal curiosity or challenge and played audio recordings of purported Sasquatch vocalizations through powerful speakers. After an intense period of silence, a faint, bipedal heat signature flickered on the edge of their thermal imaging scope, moving deliberately through the trees before vanishing into the impenetrable darkness. In the area where it was spotted, yet another expertly crafted tree structure stood sentinel. The expedition to California's Lost Coast had transcended the typical Bigfoot hunt. It had become a comprehensive field study, employing a fusion of technology, forensics, and traditional tracking. The evidence suggests not a lone, wandering monster, but a species, intelligent, elusive, and organized. The paired tracks, the strategic kill zone, the proliferation of complex structures, and the detection of possible biological evidence all point toward a hidden population adapted to survive in the most remote wildernesses left on the continent. As the team departed the storm-battered coast, they did so not with a definitive answer, but with something perhaps more valuable, a compelling collection of evidence that demands further scrutiny. The samples of potential DNA now head to labs for analysis. The hundreds of hours of thermal footage await detailed review. The hunt, they know, is far from over. But the shadowy figure in the woods has never felt more real, and the scientific pursuit to prove it has never been more credible. The legend of Bigfoot is finally being tested not by storytellers, but by scientists and explorers, and the results could rewrite what we know about the natural world.